Welcome to another enlightening episode of Talent Horizon, your trusted companion for the latest AI news, insights and trends impact the staffing and recruitment sector. I'm Lee, your recruitment industry virtuoso.
And I'm Helge, the AI tech expert. And today we'll guide you through an AI maze that not only impacts your current recruit to hire process, but paints the future of the staffing industry.
Our segments today include fascinating research into the ever-evolving AI world, a deep dive into AI-powered tools that are improving lives, a look at the frontier of AI technology, and practical tips to help you and your company succeed with AI.
And in the end, we even have something that could help you really boost AI implementation in your business, so stick around till the end. And now it's time for the first segment, which is research. The world of work is changing, and as AI tools become increasingly prevalent, let's find out what the numbers tell us.
So this comes from a recently conducted LinkedIn global survey that's centered around workers' attitudes towards AI. And the results, surprisingly, 84% of whom surveyed believe that AI will give their careers a boost.
I think that's even a bit higher than the numbers we looked at last episode. And I mean, it's an overwhelming 9 out of 10 professionals that are feeling excitement about AI tech. Free time was marked as a positive or a significant positive, with 45% of respondents planning to use AI to improve their work-life balance.
And also nearly half of the respondents suggested AI is set to make their jobs easier. 39% are keen to use AI to learn new skills.
But there are some fears too, aren't there, Lee?
Indeed there are, inevitably. I think with anything new, while all these statistics sound promising, it seems the AI revolution isn't without apprehension. 49% of respondents surveyed were worried that they should know or need to know more about AI.
Which is kind of back to what we talked about last time with like training employees and getting everyone upskilled on this. And LinkedIn's survey reveals even more shocking fears. A third of workers fear falling behind on AI at work. 56% admitted not knowing how to use AI at work, while 39% felt quite overwhelmed with the pace of change AI might bring.
Yeah, the most thrilling part is the AI adoption trend. If we look at the evidence from the survey revealing that 46% of global professionals have already started using AI tools in their workplace and in their work, and 36% are testing generative AI tools like ChatGPT. But I think the adoption is fast, but it's here and now, as we've said before, isn't it? It's happening so quickly that makes inevitably people feel maybe nervous that they're going to fall behind, or they get worried about falling behind.
And this is a bit different than the numbers we looked at before, which was like more than 80% thinking that this would never be helpful for them and they wouldn't use AI. So LinkedIn, looking at their professionals that they have in their network, they're getting some different numbers than the statistics we've seen before. But since the introduction of GPT or ChatGPT, job postings have soared, increasing 21 times since November 2022. And as LinkedIn Learning observed, the learning hours for its top 100 AI-related courses went up by a whopping 65% year on year.
On to our next research, which talks about the effectiveness of ChatGPT-4. This revolutionary tool is making consultants more productive and efficient.
Apparently, consultants using ChatGPT have a significant leg up when it comes to outperforming their peers. They managed to complete 12% more tasks and finished their tasks a quarter faster, and even achieved 40% higher quality results.
And I think the other thing that the study unearthed around sort of curious trends, if you like, such as how AI provided the most assistance to those lesser performing consultants, helping them to improve performance by a significant 43%, compared to just a 17% boost for high performers.
That is actually something that we've seen as well in Globus AI, that the top performers or the really experienced coders don't get the same out of GPT as the ones who just got into programming. They're getting a huge benefit of using these kind of tools. There is such a thing as too much reliance on AI, In a twist, BCG also found out that consultants who relied excessively on ChatGPT actually performed worse on certain complex tasks.
So I think as we reflect on that, what's the lesson that we're learning here, Helga? I think AI supercharges, it's well documented. AI supercharges productivity, absolutely. But caution employees against getting too reliant on it to avoid those potential pitfalls. Think of tech as a tool, not a crutch, I guess is the message that's coming through loud and clear.
Yes, exactly. And keep upskilling your employees, the workforce. I think that's important. So you use the technology in the right way. You know, I've heard of people that use ChatGPT almost as a search engine, which you should definitely not do because it makes up things. And that's basically it for the research segment today. Exciting times, right, Lee?
Yeah, absolutely. Incredibly exciting. And I think we're seeing, the adoption is rapid. I think we're seeing the impact that it's having on positive impact that it's having on huge swathes of the working population. So I guess let's see how these developments pan out in the real world, away from work. How do these developments pan out? But there's so much to come. So it is really exciting.
Absolutely.
A quick note from our sponsor, Globus AI. If you're a manager or recruiter in a staffing agency and struggling to get enough candidates, then Globus AI can enhance efficiency and escalate performance so you can activate more candidates. Stay ahead with our advanced AI solutions designed for staffing agencies. Let's grow together.
All right, over to the next section, Lee.
Yes, we're going to look at AI to improve lives. We've scanned the horizon and it's time to delve into our AI to improve lives segment. Today, we're looking at how AI, often seen as cold and calculating, is working to better our lives in deeply human contexts.
I like your wordplay there. Scan the horizon, huh? So first up, Microsoft is partnering with a digital pathology company called Paige to fight, the big C, cancer. And they're building the world's largest image-based AI model for cancer detection.
And that's on an unprecedented scale. So you've got a large-scale model that comprises digital pathology and oncology that is set to dwarf existing models. More data than Netflix and any published AI from Facebook or Google. It's signifying huge advancement in cancer research and treatment. It's a real game changer.
I mean, that's amazing. Next on our list, we got a peculiar AI model from Osaka Metropolitan University. And this AI model uses chest x-rays, not just your facial features, to determine your age. But hold on, it's not what you think.
Exactly. It's not about guessing your age for kicks. It's about uncovering potential chronic diseases. A disparity between the chest-derived age and the chronological age can signal an association with chronic disease. This can revolutionize disease identification and therefore early treatments. The research was recently published in The Lancet, Healthy Longevity.
I mean, that's very interesting. And on a different note, it's well known that emerging technologies, including AI, have an environmental impact. But a new research paper shows how AI could actually help in fight against climate change.
Yeah, the study presents that completing certain tasks like writing a page of text or creating an image, an AI emits far less CO2 than a human does. This revelation could be instrumental in battling greenhouse gases and reducing our carbon footprint.
And lastly, we turn to mental health, which is a big problem. And as the demand for mental health care skyrockets, new AI tools are stepping up to expedite the diagnosis process.
Yeah, and this came from a British AI startup, Limbic, which has developed an e-triage tool that has screened over 210,000 patients with a claimed 93% accuracy across 8 most common mental disorders. It's literally a mental health game changer.
As we celebrate AI intervention, one question kind of looms in the background. Could such tools potentially be misused or lead to discrimination in recruitment?
Yeah, it's a point to ponder for sure. I think, as always, it's essential that AI applications should prioritize ethics and fair treatment without exception.
Yeah, exactly. So in the future, you might not be able to hide your age, Lee, and or even your mental disorders. So that could be an issue when applying for jobs.
Well, I think we've talked before about where privacy comes into all of this, data privacy, right? So, but yes, you're absolutely right. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was the first thing I thought about with this mental disorder thing. Yes, definitely used for good. But then how about when someone gets hold of that model and uses it in recruitment to check that, yeah, you're mentally healthy? That concludes the AI to Improve Life segment. Join us after the break as we venture to the frontier of AI technology. All right, so let's get to the frontier. Looking at the bleeding edge of AI tech. And today we got an eye-opening article with Mustafa Suleyman, the co-founder of DeepMind, which we also mentioned before with his new book that was out.
Yes, Suleyman is now at the helm of a new billion-dollar company, Inflection, and passionately believes that generative AI is just a phase, making way for what he sees as the next big thing, interactive AI.
And interactive AI is what he calls bots that can act on high-level goals, not just answer our queries. So he envisions technology going beyond static tools. He's talking about AI with agency, the capacity to take actions on their own.
And here's where it gets interesting. What does this shift mean for the history of technology and our species?
Well, according to Suleyman, he sees it as a profound moment in the history of technology. That's his quote. We're on the brink of creating tools that have the capability, the autonomy to make decisions and take actions. And that's a significant step change.
But doesn't this scare people? The thought of giving machines autonomy? How do we balance control and autonomy?
Well, Suleyman acknowledges this tension, but he's not hitting the panic button. He believes there's absolutely no reason why we won't be able to regulate interactive AI effectively.
And then I think, contrary to the doomsday messages we often hear, Suleyman views this as an offshoot of internet regulation. He cites examples of how we've managed fraud, spam, and criminal activity online. Essentially, he's optimistic that we've done it before and we can do it again.
So even as we face the prospect of AI with increased autonomy, Suleyman calls us to focus on handling practical issues from privacy to bias and online moderation, citing regulatory successes like the Federal Aviation Administration and car safety as examples of successes in that area.
Indeed, Suleyman passionately believes in tax, public interest, redistribution, and the power of regulation when it comes to addressing the challenges posed by autonomous AI. His call to action echoes loud and clear. It's time for nations to step up and sort this out.
I guess that was like when I read his book as well. You can get pretty scared from all the things he talked about in the book. And when he gets to the end, there's a lot of talk about regulations and everything. And I don't know, my reflection from this was that you can get pretty passive just listening to all this. What do you call it when it's almost like the environmental change. You feel like there's nothing you can do about it. You're kind of left with that same feeling. But I think in the end, at least that's my reflection after reading the book, is, the best thing you can do is actually educate yourself on these new technologies, get into it, see what it can do, understand it. And that's, the best way to also partake in the political debate about regulations and so on. So get into the practicalities, learn the new technologies and put them to use.
I think you make a really interesting point, Helga. I think the analogy you draw with climate change is really relevant. If only that the sheer size and scale of the challenge is such that you might be led to believe that any change you make on an individual level, what impact is that really having? But if all 7 billion of us felt the same way, we're clearly never going to resolve it. So I think similarly with AI, if you just can educate yourself and gain understanding as to the relevance in your world and some of the issues that might need to be addressed, if we're all starting to think about these things, then the knock-on effect starts to snowball and it starts to impact positively. We get positive change, in my view.
Yeah, and as Suleyman says as well, it's not a choice not to use AI. As an individual, as a business, as a country. So you need to use it, otherwise you'll fall behind.
Absolutely.
All right, that's it for the frontier. As AI evolves and matures, we'll be right here to bring you the most thought-provoking trends and insights, for sure. But now on to some more practical tips on how to succeed with AI. So we'll wrap up with, not only envisioning a future powered by AI, but also a future where it harmonizes with human creativity and innovation. So it's time to ditch the fear and skepticism and instead embolden ourselves to welcome AI with open arms. So what are the best ways to bring about this cooperative environment?
That's where our practical tips come in, folks. In staffing agencies, when we say AI is the future, we mean it. But how do we break the ice and fuel collaboration around AI?
Well, we put together 5 tips. Firstly, we bring in the AI prompt library. So this is a forum where your team can contribute and discuss AI workflow prompts. So this provides transparency, it fosters learning, and most importantly, nurtures synergy among your staff while using AI applications.
And following that, why not push the envelope a little with an AI-centric hackathon? Imagine the burst of creative ideas arising from collective brainstorming sessions. Here you get to cultivate your own AI ideas that could redefine your recruitment agency's operations.
Truly. And the idea box is the next. So AI idea box, if you want. It's like the humble suggestion box, but for AI. So your everyday heroes, the recruiters, drop in their thoughtful AI ideas that could streamline your operation and increase effectiveness. So basically a way to capture everyone's ideas and insights.
And number 4, everyone's a winner when they get reimbursed for ChatGPT Plus. Yes, promoting responsible AI usage is crucial, but so is compensating your staff for their AI tool expenses. Remember, clear security guidelines are a must-have.
Exactly. Actually, I have my wife, her employer, she's a designer, and she wanted to use Midjourney. And, it's $10 a month. It's not a lot, but it was so hard to get this reimbursed from her employer. So, just shows don't be the blocker preventing your employees to actually utilize these kind of tools. And finally, enlist senior leadership to kickstart discussions on AI. So that means, get management to share articles, guides, resources, build a culture where AI is not viewed as a threat, but more as an ally. So you should definitely go share this podcast with your team right away.
And apart from our brief yet crisp practical tips, we have some great news. Johannes Sundlo just revealed a course crafted especially for you to bridge the gap pioneers, the Generative AI and HR course. It's a fascinating course which is exploring smart integration strategies, key ethical considerations, and loads more plus to help you integrate advanced AI into your core HR functions.
Yeah, so the course will be available soon and you can already sign up. So if you can't find it, just let me know in the comments and I'll send you a link. All right, that's one action-packed episode. And hey, don't forget to comment with your thoughts and any other topics that you'd like us to discuss, or guests, that be yourself or someone else you think it would be interesting for us to talk to. We really appreciate the feedback if you have any.
Absolutely. And with that, we wrap up our latest Talent Horizon episode. Remember, AI is no longer an upcoming trend. It's here and now. So it's time to adapt, adopt, and accelerate.
And always remember the growing, evolving world of staffing and recruitment. We're all learners, so let's learn together.